Today on Public Eye News, dam repair efforts continue as Michigan recovers from devastating floods. And later there is animal rights advocates protest at the Wisconsin governor's office.
Evelyn Rosier will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Elijah Anger will bring you your today's sports breakdown. I'm Kylie Hollenbeck.
And I'm Emma Maratz. You're watching Public Eye News. Marquette County has been added to a growing list of counties in the state of Michigan that are now in a state of emergency, per Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The state of emergency comes after flooding has increased across the state and work on the Sheboygan Lock and Dam complex continues. The Michigan DNR is reminding the public to still be aware of the situation and closely monitor. The Michigan State Police Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division are encouraging community members to report damages caused by the recent severe flooding. State Representative Carl Bonack has put out a statement thanking Governor Whitmer for putting Marquette County under a state of emergency, along with the Marquette County Board of Commissioners that also declared a state of emergency. And a college student from China is being charged with taking illegal pictures of U.S. military planes. The college student was arrested in a New York airport while boarding a plane to Glasgow, Scotland, where the student attends school. The pictures were taken during a multi-state road trip, which included stopping at an Air Force base in South Dakota. Two of those pictures included an RC-135 and an E-4B. The E-4B is also known as the Night Watch and helps the president and military officials during times of emergency. The Federal Bureau of Investigation says that it is illegal to take pictures of planes without approval, and the student knew it was illegal, and that they were for his personal collection.
Animal welfare activists gathered at the Wisconsin State Capitol on Monday pressing Governor Tony Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul to intervene in the operations of Ridgeland Farms, a beagle breeding and research facility in Blue Mounds. The demonstration followed a tense weekend in which roughly 1,000 protesters traveled to the facility, about 25 miles southwest of Madison, attempting to free nearly 2,000 dogs. Law enforcement responded with tear gas, rubber bullets, and pepper spray, leading to 29 arrests. On Monday, more than 100 demonstrators assembled inside the Capitol, calling for an investigation into alleged animal cruelty and urging officials to take actions, though neither Evers nor Kaul publicly addressed the group. Ridgeland Farms has denied wrongdoing but agreed to relinquish its breeding license by July under a legal settlement tied to veterinary violations. Authorities defended their response to the weekend breach attempt, citing safety risks to officers and staff, while activists continue to push for the release and rehoming of the dogs. The Human Rights Campaign is launching a $15 million effort ahead of the midterm elections, targeting key battleground districts as part of a broader push to regain momentum on LGBTQ+ rights. The campaign will focus on several competitive U.S. House races, while also backing Democratic Senate candidates in multiple states, funding advertising, organizing events, and deploying canvassers. The group's president, Kelly Robinson, described the initiative as a pivotal moment following recent political and legal setbacks for the movement. Those challenges include policy rollbacks during the administration of Donald Trump and decisions by the U.S. Supreme Court affecting transgender rights and related issues. The investment also comes after internal debate among Democrats about how prominently LGBTQ+ issues should feature in national campaigns. Advocacy leaders say they are refining their messaging strategy, aiming to connect equality efforts with broader everyday concerns such as economic pressures, while encouraging candidates to engage directly with voters' questions and perspectives. Peace talks for a long-term end to the fighting between the U.S. and Iran are still not confirmed, even as the clock on a temporary ceasefire is ticking down. Natalie Brand is in Washington, D.C., with more on the tough talk coming from both sides.
President Trump insists the United States is in a strong position to negotiate and believes Iran will send a delegation to peace talks in Pakistan.
They'll be sending them. They have no choice but to send them. What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal.
But it's uncertain if the in-person meeting will even take place. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's leading the negotiations for the U.S., is still in Washington, D.C. Speaking on CNBC this morning, the president says he doesn't want to extend the 2-week ceasefire, which he says expires tomorrow.
Well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with. But we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go.
The Trump administration has emphasized it's ready to return to fighting if Iran doesn't agree to a deal, with bridges and power plants the central target.
We're totally loaded up. We have so much ammo. We have so much of everything that we've, like, much more powerful than it was 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we've used this to restock, and they probably have done a little bit of restocking. One of Iran's key negotiators said late Monday, "We do not accept negotiations under the shadow of threats and are prepared to reveal new cards on the battlefield." Iran is also demanding the return of a cargo ship, which the U.S. seized near the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with your weather and statewide news after this break.
Next time on Finding Your Roots, actors whose families helped shape America. Mary Steenburgen.
Wow, what a crazy story.
Wow.
Ted Danson.
I love this.
And William H. Macy.
This is a deed of purchase for the island of Nantucket.
I knew we owned that thing.
Family heroes, scoundrels, and rule breakers.
It gives you compassion for America.
Finding Your Roots. Tuesday, 8, 7 Central, only on PBS.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Evelyn Rozier here with your Tuesday weather report. Starting off on the campus roof cam, it looks like the perfect day out there. Clear blue skies and the grass is turning very green. Not much more you can ask from a UP spring. Looking at the statewide map, the theme continues. It's perfect everywhere with pure sun across the map and high temperatures all around. Starting in Houghton, it is 59 degrees. Ironwood, it is 58. Iron Mountain, it is 68 degrees. And Menominee, it is 60 and sunny. Moving to the other side of the map, Escanaba, 53 degrees. Manistee is 50. Sault Ste. Marie, 56. And back home in Marquette, it is 57 degrees and pure sun. The winds in Marquette are coming from the northeast at 15 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is 29.85 inches and rising. Tonight, the clear skies continue with a low of 33, winds coming from the north at only 5 to 10 miles an hour, and the moon phase will be a waxing crescent. Tomorrow, you guessed it, there's more sun, and a high of 58, a low of 42, and winds coming from the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Later this week, it continues to be very nice. Wednesday, a high of 57 degrees, a low of 44 with the pure sun continuing. Thursday, 64 degrees, mostly sunny and 50 as the low. And Friday, 57 degrees, some clouds again, but still the sun will be there with the low of 40 degrees. Go out, enjoy the weather. That's all I have for weather. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Evelyn, for the weather report. Really happy to see that the UP is finally warming up. Now on to statewide news. Attorney General Dana Nessel has announced it is Crime Victims' Rights Week. Since taking office in 2019, Nessel has focused on making sure that victims of crimes know their rights and are given the services to help with their recoveries and are given the proper resources. In 2023, Nessel helped launch the Address Confidentiality Program, which helps domestic violence victims, sexual assault, human trafficking, and those whose address should not be shared because it will cause greater harm. This program currently helps over 662 individuals and helps over 325 households. Nessel has fought against the Trump administration and has been able to stop victims' resources from being taken. And AG Nessel has also stated that it is Money Smart Week, and she is raising awareness against artificial intelligence scams. Scams like these include using deepfake audio and video scams. Scammers can use another person's voice from collected audio data and use it to scam someone into giving money or personal information. The Attorney General has stated that there are a few ways to verify if a family member is truly them, including having a code word, to not trust caller ID, and to verify the situation before giving out any information. If a scam occurs, then contact the Federal Trade Commission at 877-382-4357. And Apple is making a historic change at the top. Its longtime leader, Tim Cook, will step down as CEO in the fall, taking on a new role at the company. This comes at a crucial time for Apple. Jolene Kent has more on the transition.
We're taking the biggest leap ever for iPhone.
Tim Cook's 15-year tenure as Apple's CEO will come to a close in September. The tech giant announced Monday that John Ternus, Senior Vice President of Apple's hardware engineering, will replace him. Cook, who's been at Apple for almost 3 decades, was handpicked by the late Steve Jobs to take over the reins in 2011. In a recent interview with CBS Sunday Morning's David Pogue, Cook reflected on his initial decision to join Apple.
It was the best decision I ever made. It fundamentally changed my life. But just working at Apple with the brilliant people here and feeling the energy and really focusing on changing the world in some kind of positive way and making your contribution. We have not stopped innovating.
Under Cook's leadership, Apple's success has skyrocketed, rolling out innovative products and services like the Apple Watch, AirPods, and Apple TV. Back in 2011, Apple was valued at about $350 billion. That's ballooned over 1,000% to $4 trillion.
Well, these are big shoes to fill.
Technology analyst Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities says the change signals Apple's focus on AI.
Eventually, you'll have AI-enabled devices, not just things like smartphones, eventually glasses and other types of technology. And that's where Apple, I think, sees the future.
Cook has said being Apple's CEO has been the privilege of his life, and he'll stay involved, becoming the executive chair of the board of directors. And later this month, we will get another view of what's happening inside Apple with their quarterly earnings. And we do expect to hear more from both Cook and Ternus about Apple's critical road ahead. Jolene Kent, CBS News, Los Angeles.
We'll be right back with your short sports breakdown after this short break. Stay tuned.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Ben Burns' American Revolution returns Mondays and Tuesdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Elijah Anger, and I'm here to take you through today's sports breakdown. Starting off on the mound, the Detroit Tigers saw another loss get tacked up to their standings as the Boston Red Sox beat them 8-6 on Monday. The Tigers saw a 3-2 edge in the sixth before the Red Sox tied it up and wouldn't let go. The Red Sox were on a roll as 2 of their players hit 2-run singles, ending their 2-game skid and splitting the 4-game series with the team from Detroit. As far as Detroit players go, Jack Flaherty, the starter for Detroit on the mound, lasted 3 1/3 innings, giving up 2 unearned runs, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 6 walks. The Tigers face up again against Milwaukee at home tonight as the opener of a 3-game series. Crossing over to the floorboards, the Chicago Bulls head coach Billy Donovan has resigned after 6 seasons with the team. This comes after the executive vice president of basketball operations and general manager for the Bulls were fired earlier this month. While the teams shared that they wanted Billy to continue to coach for them, the decision to leave was ultimately up to Billy, who announced that it was done for the betterment of the team as they move forward, as it gave an opportunity for the new leadership to build out the staff as they see fit. Billy was praised by the Bulls owner Jerry Reisendorf after his resignation for the class and genuine care he brought to the organization as a whole. And sticking on the floorboards just a bit more north, the Northern Michigan University's men's basketball team has named Drew Blair as their new assistant coach. When it was announced, Cale Gnatz, the current head coach, shared that he was excited for Drew to be joining the Wildcat family, as he's known Drew for years and even coached against him in the past. Drew arrived for his position as assistant coach at the University of Minnesota Duluth during the 2025-26 season, and also brought in some experience from the Milwaukee Bucks organization as their video coordinator, player development assistant from September 2024 through May 25. Drew says that he can't wait to be part of sustaining the excellence and culture displayed within the basketball program at Northern. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Eli, for that sports breakdown. And that's all the time we have at Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Marat.
And I'm Kylie Holmbeck.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.